Yellow.
Okay.
Green, red.
Red's flashing, push red.
Is it yellow, red?
Push red.
Push red.
No, it should be yellow, red. No!
Oh.
So Ian, the basic premise of the show is that you pick a game, and then you play the game, and then we talk about what you just played.
Right.
That's not going to work here because you just played like 500 games.
Yeah. I was at IndieCade all weekend.
Woo!
Yay!
Well done, sir. Why were
very-
you at IndieCade specifically?
Well, normally I would just go because I love indie games and I work for a media outlet. But this year I had a game in IndieCade. Thanks. It's sort of a weird one. It's a big game, so like you play it in real life with a ball in a box. It's called Ultimate Super Nightball. If you go to ultimatesupernightball.com, you can get the rules and play it right now with your friends for free. It's fun and very tiring. I ran the session for like 3 hours in the sun, and I am every part of my body is sore. It's ridiculous.
But you got to get in there. I mean, you got to demo the game.
Yeah, I was playing it every time, so like I took it a little easy, but oh man.
Do we have footage of this? Did anyone
yeah,
shoot
my
this?
yeah.
So, so your game sounds like fun, but not something we can necessarily demo here on the GT space.
Right.
So what? Let's start at the top, man. What was your favorite game? What really stood out?
That's a good question. There are a few. I just wrote down a bunch that I saw. There were a few that like I didn't get to play, but they were explained to me, and they sound amazing. And they won like Audience Choice and Media Awards and stuff.
And you didn't play those games?
I didn't know that they were the ones that were going to win. Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know that I had like one favorite. I had a bunch that I really liked, and
We'll talk about something, damn it.
yeah. All right. I'm just going to go through. Probably we won't worry about getting B-roll for any of these because that would be ridiculous. But yeah, so there's a game called Choice Chamber that we're going to try to stream sometime, I think, on the site. Maybe we already have by the time this goes up. But that one, you're a little guy, and it's a 2D side-scroller, and the people on Twitch they like type in things, and it changes the way you play the game.
And it's all
So,
good
like,
things, right?
Well, no.
They can just give you. They can just give you presents. That's
right.
it, right?
Sometimes they're good. Like the first weapon I had when I was playing was really annoying, so they switched it to an arrow, so that was better. But then they also made it so that I constantly jumped unless I was holding down the jump key, stuff like that. So and they can like build a bridge to get across a big chasm, things like that. It's pretty crazy.
You know what I would love that I just thought of right in this moment is if Left 4 Dead ran that way. Like maybe not Left 4 Dead specifically that game, but if you had a zombie survival game where like where the zombies and monsters came from was totally controlled by an outside source.
I think some game tried to do something like that, or maybe it was Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City or something, where like if you died, you became one of the enemy.
Sure.
You can like invade. Maybe it was Resident Evil 6. Whatever, doesn't matter. Another one that won the, I think it won the Media Choice Award. Yeah. It was Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, which is a crazy, awesome game. One person has an Oculus Rift on, and the other person has a book, like a manual.
That's right. I think I heard about this at Comic-Con or something.
And the person with
PAX.
the Oculus Rift is looking at a bomb, and the person with the manual has the instructions for how to defuse the bomb. So like there'll be a bunch of wires and stuff, and you're looking at it, but you don't know what you're doing. And then the other person, you just have to communicate, and like they don't see the bomb, so you have to explain the bomb.
Lethal Weapon the game.
Yeah, basically. So that one is rad. Another one called Icebound, which I think is having a Kickstarter right now, is crazy. It starts on the iPad. And you or whatever, and there's this author who died in real life in the world of the book. So they made an AI to try to finish his last great work, right? So they like want him to finish it. So he's him, but he's a computer, and I think he knows he's an AI. And so like you do some stuff and like assemble the story, and you're like, I think this word would work better than that. And he's kind of incredulous. He's like, who are you? I'm a famous writer, blah blah blah, and then blah blah blah. And but then there's a book in real life that just looks like it has like there'll be a page with nothing on it really, like a cave or something, and then you aren't supposed to show the AI that book. Like the FBI is like, no, don't do it or whatever, because they don't want him to know things about himself, I guess. But if you hold the camera up above the book, all kinds of stuff will show up. Like if you're looking at the book through the iPad, all kinds of stuff, augmented reality is in the book, you know? And like it depends on which part of the story you're at, but like there was one part I saw that it like had it was like whoever this girl sells this AI into digital slavery, blah blah blah. And then if you look at it with the guy, instead of her name, it switches to my daughter. And then he's just like, she did what? You know, like he gets all upset. It's pretty cool. It's like very future.
I think we do have a trailer of that. Yeah, I think I did see that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
again, it's tough. Like, how do you make a trailer for that
You're
game?
right.
Because you have to show someone.
Right.
It's kind of a camera looking at a camera looking at
Right.
a game. So it's basically Johnny Depp from Transcendence mixed with Johnny Depp from The Ninth Gate. It's like
Right. And
both
with
of
a
those
little
Johnny
giant
Depps.
mnemonic in there too.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Then I met the guys from Ether 1. I watched the game. I didn't play it, but I ended up talking to them for like a long time. They're really cool. That game looks really cool. I'm gonna play it on the PS4, I think, when that comes out someday. But that's on PC right now. It's kind of like a first-person psychological sort of puzzle game. It looks really good. It's my kind of thing. It's sort of Dear Esther, but with gameplay, I think. Then Artemis is always good. That's like a sci-fi bridge simulator where like you need 6 computers and one person's the captain and one person's the engineer and one person's the weapons and one person's science and one person's comms and one person's navigation.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like you can only see like your thing. So like when I've played it, I was engineering, so I was like, I give power to thrusters and maneuverability so we could get out of there. But then when we're in fights, you have to put up weapons and say it's rad. You need a lot of people.
Does it come with a control method where you have giant
No, I
levers?
wish. That'd be so cool.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's just laptops generally, but you can also play it on iPads and Androids, I think, too, which is pretty good.
Oh,
like,
cool.
You can just kind of sliders. The thing I like about the computer version, from what I've played, because I tried it on my Android tablet once too. You can get this game; it's kind of out, but on the computer version, you can.
I just love kinda out.
Yeah, I mean it's not like done, I think, but it's like kind of out.
I just pictured that at the end of a trailer, like
Yeah,
kinda
it's
out now, mostly.
Kinda out now.
Check it out if you can.
On the computer though, you can set hotkeys, so like you can hit like 1 or F1 or I can't remember what key it was, but like then that's the weapons one, and this is the maneuverability one. Anyway.
I'm sure someone will build a mod where the game just runs itself.
Yeah. Do what you think is best. There was a board game. I'll go through a few of these really quick. There was a board game called Antimatter Matters, which looked really cool. Just had really good like production. Like it was about physics and quantum mechanics and all that kind of stuff. A game I played, a card game that I ordered it as soon as I could because they weren't selling it there. But it's like $9 on Amazon. It's great. It's called Hanabi, and you're blind fireworks like technicians or whatever, and you're trying to make the best fireworks show that you can, and it's a card game, but you hold your cards out, so you can't see the cards you have, and so you have to communicate with each other, and like you have a little counter, and every time you can burn a counter basically and say like, okay, this card is a 1, and then there are 5 colors and up to 5 things. So you have to put like a green 1 here, and then you can put a green 2 on here, and you can also discard cards, but you don't know what your cards are, so you have to depend on each other, and like there's a lot of strategy. It's really good.
Well, someone's got to win that thing, right? So
You either all kind of win or lose together. Like the whole goal is to make.
I want everyone to lose.
Make
Ian.
the best fireworks show. Well, we got like 15 points because we had like a 4 and like a bunch of 1s and 2s, and then it said like. A decent, like the scorebook has like the ranges, and it was like a decent show, but quickly forgotten.
Everyone's like,
so like we all kind of lost, yeah. So that one's good. A game that I didn't see or play, but won an award and then was explained to me, and it sounds amazing, is called Close Your. Apparently there's a camera or something on you while you're playing it, and it's a game I think about like you've lost your memory or something like that, and you're trying to like remember days of your life, but every time you blink in real life, it switches to a new thing, like a different memory or something.
I just blinked 4 times in
I know.
that sentence.
It's crazy. Like, just the theory of this game sounds amazing. Look into it. I have very little information
You
on
just
it.
saying the word blink. All of a
I
sudden, I'm
know.
like, I can't stop.
Don't blink. Then another one that I didn't get to play was called Sunder, which I think that one won either Developer's Choice or Audience Choice. Those two won Developer Choice or Audience Choice. I can't remember which was which.
Cool.
But Sunder, you wear 3D glasses, except one person has all red and one person has all blue, and it's a platformer, and the game is running at the same time, and one is all blue and one is all red. So I can see the red world and you can see the blue world, and we can't see each other, and we have to like communicate. And occasionally I guess you can ping and like show where you are, but like It sounds rad. Classroom Aquatic is really funny. It's about dolphins cheating on a test in class. Framed is really cool. It's like comic book panels, sort of, and you rearrange them to put the events in a certain order, and then you can like 2D platform kind of through
I
them.
did see that. Yeah, it's like black and white.
Yeah,
it
sort
kind of
of
has a noir style.
desaturated, yeah,
Is it
yeah.
like stealth, where like you have guys that can
Yeah,
pass through
maybe.
panels and you have to?
I'm not sure. I didn't get to play that one, but I was like watching a guy play it, and he was like trying to position this building that was like in different states of being made, and it was pretty cool.
That's a fun game because it's an example of something you can literally show someone 6 seconds of,
Yeah,
and
and
their
you're
mind's
like,
blown.
oh.
They're like, whoa, oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
that's
can imagine the
cool.
possibilities.
Hoot Patooter was another big game that was pretty funny. The guys were talking like the Swedish Chef the whole time, and
The guy's playing the game?
The guy's
demoing
running
it?
the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real life game. You had aprons, and you and a partner had to like fling vegetables at each other, and then try to get them in a pot to make soup. And they were just like "rude patooter, rude patooter," you know, like saying stuff like that.
I still hate cooking.
And yeah, and then Hack and Slash obviously is big time Double Fine game. That was pretty good. Check it out. It's out now. Hyperlight Drifter is amazing. You can get the preview of it right now for the next like I think couple of weeks.
Which you just streamed.
Yeah, we
Here
just
on
streamed
GameTrailers.
it. Good,
Or on
good
Twitch.
game. Yeah. Kill the Kraken was another big game that you have a pole with a net on the top of it and strings attached to the pole, and then 7 or however many, I think 7 is the max, hold the cords. So you have to stay a certain distance from the pole, and then you've got purple pool noodles. And if you hit someone, they're humans running around, and if you hit them, they're dead, and they have to go to a hospital to resurrect themselves. But the Kraken is trying to flip over all these buildings, and then the humans are trying to get their balled up socks, but they're like whatever attacking the Kraken. If they get as many things up in the basket as there are people that are the Kraken, then the Kraken is killed and the humans win. But if the Kraken flips over all the buildings, then the Kraken wins. Pretty cool. Nidhogg came out on October 14th.
That's
on
all
the
you had to
PlayStation
say?
4. I'm very excited. No, I played it in the PlayStation booth, and then I went up to her. I'm like, "When is this coming out?" And she's like, "On Tuesday." And I think I just went like, "Bah!" Sports Ball was at the Nintendo booth. There's a Wii U game where you're flying a bird, and you're trying to hit a ball into a goal, and you can tackle the other birds. It was pretty funny. It'd be right at home in the game like Sports Friends or something.
And that's just
like
going to be on Wii U?
it was on the Wii U when I played it. I don't know
we
if
don't
it's only on the Wii U, but I mean, it was in the Nintendo booth, so I would not be surprised.
But they have fun games. Splatoon was like a big hit
Yeah.
from E3, surprisingly. It was like one of the...
Runbow was also there, and that seemed kind of cool. I didn't get to see it or anything. No
wonder you're tired, man.
I know.
I'm tired talking about all this stuff.
Yeah, The Last Egg was a good big game where you pass an egg. You're like carrying an egg on a Move controller, so your thing turns white, and then you like pass it to your other teammates, and the other team is trying to get you to drop the egg. It's really fun. And then the last thing I wrote down was a game called The Thing from the Future, which was a card game where everyone gets a bunch of cards, and then everyone plays one card, and there are 4 categories. There's like arc, which is like defines the future that you're from, like a collapsed future, or a future where everything's really great, or whatever, 1,000 years, 60 years, and then it's like the kind of object it is, and then like the part of society it comes from, and then like the mood it gives you when you think about it, or whatever, when you see it, and then so once you get all of those down, everyone writes down the thing that they think that is, and then everyone votes on which one they think is the coolest thing.
Okay.
So it's sort of like Balderdash, but like a creative like imagination tool.
There are other card games that sounds like, well, it's kind of like Taboo. You know, like
Yeah,
if you
sort of,
know
yeah.
people, or Apples to Apples, it kind of sounds
Yeah,
like finding
yeah.
those word associations.
It's less like, yeah, I mean, I guess in a way, like you're trying to convince people to vote for your thing, but it's more just like, yeah, if you come up with the coolest thing, everyone's going to be like, whoa.
So it's funny. So we normally on Just Played, so we've taken like about half an hour to talk about all these games now.
sorry.
So normally on Just Played, we'll talk about one game and really get into the minutia of all those little elements. Something like Assassin's Creed's coming out. It's like, oh, what are the new systems that they've put
Yeah.
in? Or like, oh, you played Bloodborne. Like, what are the new enemies like? But generally, these huge AAA games that we're playing, like the games that have just been dominating the last couple quarters, are pretty simple in premise. Like
Yeah.
Evolve, you're just like,
They're
4
all
guys are
garbage.
chasing a monster. All of them garbage.
All of them garbage, except Bloodborne.
Like Assassins, it's like, oh, you're an assassin, France, Revolution, run around,
Yeah.
attack stuff. Whereas
Done-
like
been
every
there,
single
done
one
that.
of these games, you really have to set up like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
You're like,
you
okay,
do
it's
these,
this,
and this
but
had
it's
weird
not
rules.
this, and yeah.
It's built on this system. You're used to something like the Move. These guys took it and did something really creative with
I
it.
mean, that's why I love IndieCade. Like everything there, you're like, Okay, all right. Oh yeah, okay, this is rad. You know, you like have to like think about it and then you get into it.
And you're almost guaranteed whenever you bump into somebody in an event like this. I found this all the time at PAX, where it's like, "What's your favorite game?" Every name that came up was like, "What? I've never heard of that. What's
Yeah.
that crazy thing? I
Yeah.
gotta go check that out now." So
Yeah.
everyone watching this now has to check out every single one of those games.
Yeah. I mean, check them out. They're all great. Everything at IndieCade is awesome.
And hopefully you're editing this video so you can go find
Yeah.
a clip for every single one of those.
Oh,
It'll
God.
be fun.
Nah.
And do a physical demonstration of all of the card games that you explained.
Yeah.
You look exhausted, man, but
I'm so tired.
I can see why. I appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks so much,
thanks,
Ian.
yeah.
Or is the mind still intact? Restorer, can you hear me? Restorer, come on in. We're going to have to send you back in.